Have you ever stopped to think about who you really admire? I mean, truly look up to? Maybe it's a brilliant scientist, a charismatic celebrity, a world changing historical figure, or maybe it's someone closer to home, a parent, a teacher, or a friend who just seems to have it all figured out. We all have these figures in our lives, people we aspire to be like. But why them? What is it about these specific individuals that captures our attention and earns our respect? It's not random. There's a fascinating science and psychology behind who we choose to admire, and it reveals a lot about our own values, our desires, and even our own potential. Today, we're going on a deep dive into the human heart and mind to understand the powerful force of admiration. It's more than just a fleeting feeling of, wow, they're cool. Admiration is a complex emotion that can shape our goals, motivate our actions, and ultimately influence the person we become. So let's get into it. Why do we admire who we admire? One of the most fundamental reasons we admire someone is because they embody qualities we wish we had ourselves. Think about it. If you value courage, you're likely to admire firefighters, activists, or anyone who stands up for what's right, even when it's hard. If you value creativity, you'll be drawn to innovative artists, musicians, and writers who push the boundaries of imagination. Psychologists call this idealized identification. We see a version of our ideal self in someone else, and that connection is powerful. It's like they're living proof that the qualities we value are achievable. This person becomes a mirror, reflecting back not who we are, but who we could be. It gives us a blueprint for our own personal growth. But it's not just about abstract qualities. We are also incredibly drawn to competence and skill. We admire the athlete who trains for years to break a world record, the surgeon with impossibly steady hands, or the programmer who can write elegant code that solves complex problems. Why? Because mastery is universally impressive. In a world full of challenges, seeing someone achieve excellence in their field gives us a sense of hope and order. It proves that with dedication and hard work, it's possible to overcome obstacles and achieve greatness. This type of admiration is less about who they are as a person and more about what they can do. It taps into our deep-seated respect for expertise and the human capacity to achieve the extraordinary. When we watch a master at work, a part of us feels inspired to find our own craft and dedicate ourselves to it. Now, let's talk about a different, more personal side of admiration: warmth and kindness. We don't just admire people for their strength or skill, we also admire them for their heart. Think of figures like Mr. Rogers or your favorite grandparents. We admire people who are genuinely compassionate, empathetic, and generous. This is because these pro-social behaviors are the glue that holds society together. In our day-to-day lives, we're constantly navigating social interactions. Seeing someone who is consistently kind and caring gives us a sense of safety and trust. They make the world feel like a better, warmer place. This admiration isn't about wanting to achieve a specific skill, but about wanting to cultivate a certain way of being. It's an admiration for moral character, and it inspires us to be better to the people around us. Interestingly, our admiration shifts as we go through different stages of life. When you're a kid, you might admire superheroes because they're all powerful and always save the day. As a teenager, you might admire a rebellious rock star who represents freedom and individuality. As a young adult starting a career, you might admire a successful entrepreneur who built a company from nothing. And later in life, you might admire someone who has found peace, wisdom, and a deep sense of purpose. Our heroes change because our needs change. The people we look up to are often a reflection of the challenges we're currently facing and the questions we're trying to answer. So, if you look back at the people you've admired over the years, you'll probably see a roadmap of your own personal journey. But admiration isn't always a positive, straightforward emotion. Sometimes it can mix with a little bit of envy. We see someone who has what we want, success, talent, or popularity, and while we admire them for it, there's a part of us that feels a sting of jealousy. This is completely normal. The key is how we channel that feeling. Healthy admiration uses that feeling as fuel. It says, they did it, so maybe I can too. I'm going to work harder. It's motivating. Unhealthy envy, on the other hand, can turn bitter. It says, it's not fair they have that and I don't. That can lead to resentment and negativity. The difference is subtle but crucial. Admiration inspires us to rise up, while envy can pull us down. Recognizing this can help us turn a potentially negative emotion into a powerful catalyst for our own growth. So, how can we use the power of admiration in a positive way? First, be conscious about who you admire. Don't just passively consume media and celebrity culture. Actively choose role models who represent the values you genuinely believe in. Look for people who are not just successful, but also ethical, compassionate, and resilient. Remember, you become who you look up to. Second, don't just admire from a distance. Study them. Read their biographies, watch their interviews, understand their struggles. You'll often find that their path to success was filled with failures and setbacks. This demystifies their achievements and makes your own goals feel more attainable. They weren't born perfect, they worked for it, and that's the most inspiring lesson of all. Finally, let your admiration lead to action. If you admire a great writer, start a daily writing practice. If you admire a community leader, find a way to volunteer in your own neighborhood. Admiration without action is just passive daydreaming. True admiration is an active process. It's about taking the inspiration you feel and using it to build a better version of yourself. The people you look up to have shown you what's possible. Now it's your turn to see what you're capable of. In the end, the people we admire are like stars we use to navigate our lives. They provide direction, light up our path, and remind us of the vast potential that lies within all of us. Admiration is a deeply human connection that ties us to the best parts of ourselves and each other. It's a reminder that greatness, in all its forms, be it skill, courage, or kindness, is something we can all strive for. So, take a moment to think about your heroes. What do they tell you about what you value most? What do they inspire you to do? Let that be your guide. Thank you so much for watching and exploring this with me today. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and subscribe for more deep dives into the human experience. I'll see you in the next one.